So my first question is, why is it that studs or butch women do not like certain parts of their bodies touched? Like, what is it like that does it? Like, what is that? Why do they keep that boundary of not wanting to be touched or satisfied in that way? Because I would think you would still want to be pleasured, or you would want your kitty cat licked, or you would want, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Yeah. You are correct.
You are correct. You are correct.
Simply, you are correct.
You are correct.
As humans, we want to have orgasms. Yes, 100%.
So,
I think, at a very basic level, a lot of masculine presenting women may not be pleasurable to them. On a very, very basic level, it could be that. And then if you want to go deeper, it's the vulnerability thing. Like, if this does feel good to me, is she gonna, and I do like open myself up, is she going to judge me some certain way?
but why does that change in the bedroom? Like, what changes because you're being vulnerable in the bedroom? That doesn't change on who you are, or doesn't change your personality. It doesn't change anything. It just changes a new open door of, you know what I'm saying, learning your partner in a whole new way.
And I think a lot of that comes with growing up. And I think a lot of that comes with growing up. I know when I was growing up, when I was 18, 19 years old, like, it took a lot for me to get pleasured by a female. Like, it took a lot of trust. It took a lot of me being with this person for a long period of time for me to be able to trust them even that much. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Not even emotionally trusting them. Just even physically. It took a lot for them. But as I've gotten older, I think it's just been a part of growing up and being mature enough to say, like, it's not taking away from anything of who I am.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's a maturity thing, though. Growing up and practicing being vulnerable with somebody that you feel is solid enough to be vulnerable with, and trusting yourself in that person to just try it.
To go there and allow that. And okay. I'm gonna move on to the next question. Now,
I
had a thought for a second, but I'm gonna move on to the next question. So my next question is, now, do all studs dislike using like toys on them or having toys used on them in that manner? Or do you would you mind using a toy on yourself or with your partner? Like, how does that work? Like, is there like only my female should be receiving a toy or using that type of pleasure? I shouldn't receive any type of pleasure? Or like, what does that look like?
It really, I think it depends on the person and what they've allowed themselves to try and figure out what they do and don't like. I think that's just a case-by-case basis when it comes to, especially masculine presenting women. What happens in the bed happens in the bed. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? So
I think, and also it all ties back to the being safe, to be vulnerable, to let yourself be open. And I think it's taking the baby steps to get there, right? And I think that's how you build that trust and that vulnerability and that safety with your partner. I know us in the very beginning, I am someone who, like, as well as I like to be pleasured, I like to pleasure my partner. Right? But I knowing what I know of masculine presenting women, because to be honest, I didn't think that I would end up with a masculine presenting woman. To be honest, I really didn't think
herself. You see, she didn't deny it.
I didn't say anything.
She didn't deny it.
Listen, I'm not.
Go ahead.
I'm not. I'm not at all. Okay.
You didn't think you would be with a masculine woman?
I didn't. But I realized in a relationship, what I do need is a certain level of, like, I need to be the more feminine person. I need to be a little bit more the lady. That's what I need to be. And I'm not extremely ladylike. So to date another femme woman just would be like, no. No.
How does that work?
Like, great, they're great to look at, but I don't think I could, be in a relationship. Just to, So I think knowing what I knew I had to like let her let me in, right?
Yes.
I had to always make sure she felt like her masculinity was always still in check. That was never questioned, it was never judged, it was never anything. And it was like, okay, she gave me an inch and I took that inch and then I waited. And even if it took like another couple of months for me to get like another inch, then I waited 2 months to get that inch. And so on, right?
It's
and
a
I
process.
think it was a process. And I had to very much make sure that was always that dominance and submissiveness and all of that was always intact outside of the bedroom. I had to make sure it's all like in and out. You know what I mean? And I would say still even now, even as open as she is with me, I still always wait for cues. I always wait for, you know what I mean? I kind of like, this is maybe what I want to do. And then I wait for kind of a cue of, okay, you can go ahead.
So I got a question. What was it that triggered or helped you get to a place of being vulnerable with her? Like, what was it that she did? Or was it like a particular thing that opened that door for you to want to be like, okay, she's let me in, or she's shown me a side of where I can be vulnerable and feel safe?
I think it started emotionally. It definitely started as an emotional connection with us, where we talked about a lot of things, and I felt comfortable opening up to her about my past and things like that, and I think a lot of that just helped the feeling of feeling safe, being able to be emotionally vulnerable with her and being able to just talk about my past, talk about how I'm feeling mentally and my mental health and all those things that need to be talked about with your partner.
Right.
You know?
Having that safe zone of,
Yes.
of being able to know that my partner can know all my dark secrets.
Yes.
Definitely. What was it for you that you felt like was, let me try to see if not try, but let me open the door in a way where she can feel safe? Do you know what it was that you tried to do that would make her feel safe in that place? Now these are
No,
questions.
I don't. Yeah, they are.
I know. But because I'm one of
okay,
those.
so I don't think there was a particular thing that I did. I think it was more so of, like she said, continuing to let her open up about her past. But even then, I think really starting a journey of like, you know, having like great mental health, right? We, you know, both like being on that journey, and I was very supportive in that. And so I think that was a big piece for her to feel like, okay, I can feel really safe, you know, and I can let all this out. I think the other part of it was not so much, it was more of me letting her know what I need.
It's very direct.
That's Taurus,
which is dope, like, because
it was never in a way of like, this is what I need and I need you to do this now. It was like, this is what I like. This is what I want. This is what I want us to get to. And this is what I do need eventually when you're ready. So it was very much me having that conversation, like, this is what I want and what I need, and I understand you're not ready yet, but I want you to know these things are here, like, you know. And I think she heard that, you know, and it was like, all right, cool, when I'm ready. And so things happened when she was ready, and I was fine with that. And I think that was a better way for me than being like, I need this now.
And
now.
In the lesbian community, it is like that. If you're not on it right away, and we're gonna be together and move in together, and if you're not like that right away, a lot of females feel like they're not going to be wanted, or they're not. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of a cycle, because when like, especially in the black gay community, you come out of the closet, a lot of times you're shut by your family, and then you get really close to your gay family, and then you end up moving in with your girlfriend or your partner, and then that's just how your cycle goes in your life. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have been through that cycle, and if it's not like that, it feels like, oh, then it's not going to be anything.
It's not going to go nowhere.
Right.
It has no value.
Right.
Instead of just allowing it to take its course and allow it to really grow and evolve in the levels that it needs to grow.
Right.
I think that's a big piece that's missing in the relationship community nowadays. A lot of people are not taking their times to
be in a relationship.
Be in a relationship and learn a person and allow to have conversations and be willing to be open and acceptance of who they are. Which goes back to my last video. If you have not checked out, I'm subliminals right now. It's just throwing it out there. Chapter 3, acceptance of yourself, little plug. But it's definitely where a lot of people are struggling to have that acceptance of themselves. But yet they're so ready to jump into a relationship. Okay. All right, so my last question, and then we're gonna, y'all let me know what y'all little final thoughts are, because, we already in, y'all my longest video, honestly. It's 23 minutes already.
Hey.
Come on through. It's bumping. But it is the first video for Rare Pages, so this will be his first little own one, too. Hopefully I'll have you guys back. But my next question is, why do we keep dealing with these labels, or why do we keep dealing with keeping these labels that we have? Like, why do we get stuck on these labels? Why not just be who we are? Be Bree, be Dinka, be Siobhan, you know what I'm saying? Just, why I gotta be gay? Why you gotta be a femme lesbian? Why you gotta be a stud butch? You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Because some people are stupid.
Stupid.
Like, honestly, like... I used to work a lot overnight, so a lot overnight you ain't really got shit else to do but like scroll Twitter and read comments and look at memes and all that shit, right? And like I used to find myself going on these just spirals on just reading people's comments on different lesbian posts and all that, and like the most closed-minded, stupid shit like people say, like I really think this way. Mm-hmm. Oh, you ain't no, like, I still see it now, like, people ain't no real butch, you ain't no real stud, you ain't know this, you ain't know that, if you do this, if you do that, and it's like, are you serious?
Like, what?
Like, you're dumb. It sounds dumb at this point, because, like, I just know growing up, like I said, there were these labels and these attributes that you had to have, but now there is the actual language to express different gender presentations, different sexualities, and things like that. Growing when we were young, it wasn't like that.
You had these particular labels, and that's what you was.
It was LGBT, period.
That's it.
Period. No plus, no none of those things.
No QYZ,
no none of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, none of that. So like now there's all these. Now there's just a whole spectrum of language that can express different presentations. Like for me myself, like the more that I dive into my own self, like I feel like the non-binary presentation is me. However, now there's like a whole bunch of pronouns that could be associated with however you want to be addressed and things like that. Right. So like growing up, there wasn't that language there wasn't that awareness there wasn't that many people stepping out and saying I am this or I am that. Like trans people now have such a wide
they got a wide spread now.
They do, and they have such a wide platform that we are seeing trans people in a different light, where back in the day it was like taboo,
right? When
it's not.
It's not taboo anymore.
Humans are humans. Like are you a good human or are you not? And that's all that should fucking matter.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, are you a good human or are you not?
I think labels are just they're something that are drilled in us since like we're little. I mean, labels are literally like from the time you're little. Like it's just you're learned. I'm black, I'm white, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Not saying that you shouldn't be these things, but like labels are just how human beings work. But it's like it sucks because then it sticks people in boxes. I mean, you have this problem in ethnicities and so on and so on. Like you go to check out, fill out an application. Check a box.
I've noticed that the applications now have more variety and labels, and you're not excluded from being able to take on the label that you are.
And I think the age gap is a big deal. Like I work with 15, 16, 17-year-old teenage girls, and I'm 35, so the age gap is there. So they know what I am. You can clearly see it, right? So and I've had kids that are 15 years old. Oh, Bree, what is your preferred pronoun? I don't want to be disrespectful. Like 15 years old, they have the awareness to be respectful of whatever I may want. But then there's adults who are just like, whatever, like they don't have that same, they don't have any type of awareness.
Is that because they're being taught, the generation now is being taught about the awareness of it, whereas those who are older than us, yes, or we didn't have that, but it's not like we're even trying to learn it.
They're not.
I don't think a lot of people are trying to learn it.
It gives they are. And it gives me hope that the next generation coming up of gay kids, like, they get it. They understand that you can be whatever, present as whatever, fuck whoever you want to fuck, present however you want to present, wear what you want to wear. You know, the case may be, and I love that. It's freeing. Like,
you gotta be you.
Like,
you gotta accept you.
Mm-hmm. Like the kids in my job, like we have a spot that we sometimes take the kids down to do, and like a lot of the girls get a kick out of like painting my nails, and they're like, "Ooh, Bree, you painting your nails?" And I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, right, I can paint my nails. It's not that.
But I guess for them seeing you as a masculine female, right, it's like, no.
But at the same time, they're still, can I paint your nails?
Right. Like, curious to say, like, right, let me see, can I? But that would be just like, can I do your hair? Mm-hmm. Like, but you have such low hairs, but they want to try to part your hair and try to act like they're gonna braid it and twist it.
Even before I cut it low, they wanted to braid it too.
See, anybody got time for all that? Y'all not gonna be trying to categorize me. And then
you're not.
And then want to do extra shit with me? That's not. Anyways, so I hope y'all got any closing remarks about this conversation? How y'all feel about the conversation? Y'all feel good?
I do. I think from this conversation, it really needs to people really need to get that you're selling yourself short and you're cutting yourself off from experiences and some enjoyment in life, mm-hmm, by putting yourself into a box and not being able to be vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Yes, being in love is vulnerable. Loving somebody is scary, and it's a place where a lot of people feel very uncomfortable. But yes, in order to get to a place where you want to be, you're going to have to take those steps, and you're going to have to trust that person and have those conversations. Not to be afraid to have those talks with, right, your partner, because the only way you're going to be able to come to an understanding is if you speak about it. Mm-hmm. Like,
they're not easy talks.
They're not.
They're not easy conversations.
They're not at all.
They're not easy conversations.
But a lot of people are not always able to have those conversations because they ain't been taught to have those conversations.
Which is you are absolutely correct. And then then we can go into a whole nother video.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother mental health
video.
That's a mental health conversation.
That is a whole nother conversation.
So I hope y'all enjoyed the conversation with the Henrys. I'm gonna definitely put their IG right here. It's gonna go right here. Y'all see the point. It's gonna be right here, all in here. Y'all see it.
The Henrys 412 on IG.
And you want to give out yours, Thinker? You want to give out your dance one, praise and worship?
If you go to the Henrys 412, you can see our tag. Our personal pages are tagged in there. She does some dance things that you want to check out.
It's called Praise and Workout. Come on, Praise and Worship Workout.
I post a lot of memes.
Not at all.
And randomness. That is
praise,
funny.
worship, and move.
Praise, worship, and move. I should know that because I am her best friend. I should know that.
My page is full of memes.
Hers is full of memes. And we got praise and worship.
I find the funny things if you want some comedy.
She's always got comedy. Oh, we're going to also get her to sing. But thank you for coming to Rare Pages. I appreciate you guys. What you going to sing? We're going to do it live later, right? Check out Rare Pages. Check out Pages of My Life. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you definitely comment on this conversation. I would like to hear other people's communication. Ooh, y'all making out on my camera right now?
I mean, you said you was being spicy, right?
Ooh, spicy. I'm going to go spicy in a minute, but thank you for joining me. Holla back at you.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Bye.